Since the earliest days of movie making, the genre of the Lost World and its prehistoric denizens is one that always seems to die out, only to be rediscovered once again. From B-movies and cult films to modern blockbusters, we are the raiders of the lost genre.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, man, what's happening?
Well, let me tell you, we've really stepped in it this time.
Oh.
I present to you the Rankin Bass, made-for-theatrical feature, but shown on TV, The Last Dinosaur, with an American cast and Japanese suit-mation.
Yeah.
It is top of the pops, baby, including music by either Ann or Nancy Wilson of Heart.
Huh.
Yeah, this is a supreme what-the-fuckery.
I don't know, man. I'm confused by all of these things. So, okay, so everybody knows Rankin Bass, obviously.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
Without
for example.
So without the nostalgia goggles, it gets kind of dicey. So let me ask you this, because you'll probably know.
I don't. Go ahead.
The Rankin Bass aspect of it, if the suit-mation is done by Japan, is there stop motion in this?
To my knowledge, I believe no. It's just, it was produced by Rankin Bass. I believe it's like one of their ideas is like, let's do this, and we'll do it as a co-production. Because I'm pretty sure they also did like King Kong Escapes or something like that.
Okay.
For the same reasons. And they're like, we can do this again, and we can keep it cheap by doing this.
See, I've been in that situation where I go, I've got a good idea, and I'll farm it out to somebody else.
Listen, this is what matters. What matters is we are going to a lost world, Dave, where there are dinosaurs, including the last dinosaur, including a T-Rex that varies in size depending on the shot, from anywhere between like almost believable height for a T-Rex to that's Godzilla.
Right.
Complete with Godzilla roar.
Also, if this picture is any indication, there's 3 fingers on this baby. Not 2.
Yeah.
Paleontologically accurate is what I asked for.
Oh, yeah,
Damn it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
so
he's huge. He's a huge T-Rex.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just a giant phallic symbol. So
here's the thing. When you say made-for-TV movie, you hear those words. You go, well, of course, it's going to be bad. It was made for TV. But when you hear the words made for theaters, then drop to TV.
Yeah, we're talking like Highlander 5 here.
Oh,
maybe Highlander 6, I think.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff. You ready?
Am I ever?
Let's do it.
Yeah. I wear my smart guy glasses too, because it's Rankin Bass.
Okay, I guess I was already recording, and now I'm recording again.
Double recording. That's how they get picture in picture. Call back, right?
All right, I think we're good.
I think so.
That's right, kids. The same people who brought you Rudolph, the animated Hobbit, and The Last Unicorn also made a live-action Japanese monster movie with a U.S. cast.
Not an alligator. Crocodile.
Nailed it.
I can't remember if I caught this on TV multiple times as a kid, or if my parents just taped it on Betamax and I watched it on sick days.
You have to put up, I think, with Korean subtitles.
But when I found a bootleg DVD copy from an Asian Laserdisc recently, it all came flooding back to me as though I'd watched it last week.
We just need to point out that he's an asshole.
I mean, I got that.
Oh, well, good. Then you paying attention.
70s background music that sounded as though it were lifted from Battle of the Planets preceded a title song wailed by Nancy Wilson.
He has a zebra upholstered copy of Penthouse.
No, not the girl from Heart, but the jazz and blues singer from the 1950s. Anyway, I was in bliss.
Notice his name is Maston Thrust.
People's ugliest person of the year.
And it's a fireplace on an airplane?
Is this Money Plane? Bullshit!
Maston Thrust, seriously, is the richest oil-owning big game hunter in the world, and he plans to head a 4-man, and 1 camera-wielding woman, expedition to the polar ice cap.
Dude, Vincent Priceless.
This guy was never as good looking as Vincent Price.
Vincent Half Price, maybe? Vincent Bogo.
There, they will take the polar borer, see, it's a play on words, get it? Which is a laser-guided drill machine under the ice and magma to a volcano-heated oasis where dinosaurs still roam and have eaten the last expedition.
I'm gonna cosplay as him for Halloween this year.
How can you not? This guy gives off the impression that he has tens of thousands of dollars worth of cravats. And baby wipes.
Baby oil.
Ugh.
Meanwhile, Thunderbirds are go!
This trip is, of course, simply to document and scientifically study the Tyrannosaurus rex, last seen chomping on the aforementioned previous explorers.
There's no mistaking that species.
Again, for assurances that this effort will go forward in the interest of science.
I've told you all along.
Good God, this guy's face is like the moon.
You have my word.
We're saying that volcano has been semi-active for 60 million years.
Roughly.
To sustain that ecosystem.
No problem.
It's 20 feet high and 40 feet long. It weighs 8 tons.
You're all gonna die! What?
We are going to find that animal.
And I'm gonna shoot it. I'm totally not gonna shoot it.
His name is Bunta. He's probably the best in the world.
At basketball, he's not really all that good at tracking.
Of course, the moment they get there,
Hey, that's realistic as fuck.
Hell yeah. Oh my God. Hovering dinosaurs?
Snuck up on him.
Jesus Christ, a tiny dinosaur.
Get back!
How about the size of that thing, huh?
Relatively big and or small.
Maston starts shooting at the beast, somehow surprised that his 30-06 doesn't have the stopping power to bring down baby Godzilla.
Little derpy dinosaur. Oh no, we found the last T-Rex and he's mentally handicapped.
He's not gonna shoot it. Maston, wait! Don't shoot!
Ouch! Jesus!
Eventually, the T-Rex starts trying to eat the crew, occasionally succeeding.
Every bit as intense as the Jeep scene from Jurassic Park.
You can tell he's a Japanese monster because he just had sushi.
And he looks like a friend to all children.
Snuck up on him.
Dr. Squashimoto.
And later takes and hides the polar borer itself, trapping our hunters, explorers, in this land of the lost. Sorry.
You know what? This is giving a degree of intelligence to this dinosaur that I'm impressed with.
Dr. Kawamoto! Dr. Kawamoto! Chuck, you're wasting your breath.
Oh no, Dr. Squashahagi.
How am I gonna do my nails?
I will hunt that thing down and I will kill it.
Who's gonna do my hair?
We can still have disappointing sex, can't we?
With what? All our equipment, everything is
And
destroyed.
I will have to make a weapon.
Okay, so this replaces walking with panning. Which I'm okay with.
Well, surely when they don't hear from us, they'll send rescue teams.
No.
What do you know?
No, they won't.
Bullshit.
I told them that if we weren't back in 5 days, if they didn't hear from us,
We're obviously all dead.
under no conditions were they to risk one more man, one more life.
For this entire amazing scientific discovery of the ages.
Maston and crew survive for months and try various ways of making crossbows and even a catapult in order to fend off the T-Rex and cave savages.
Really got over their skin.
Bunta!
Yeah, she's kind of moved on from you, Boone. Sorry. Hi. So, I was gonna text.
But this land and its denizens just will not die.
Hey.
Hey,
Hug.
Glenn? Glenn!
Hey, snuck up on you.
It will not leave us alone.
And scene.
It will continue to plague us until we are chewed and swallowed and dissolved.
And digested and shit back out, and now we're part of the ecosystem, and that's the circle of life.
The crew finds their laser drill and prep to escape, but Maston is determined to slay the only animal he's ever hunted that he can't seem to kill, yet can squish him between its toes.
Let's get packed. We can camp on the spot. We'll have it launched in a couple of days.
Yeah!
Now! What do you mean now?
Me and the T-Rex are in love. Waiting to tell you, but this has really spurred the instant.
Wow, didn't see that coming.
First, we get the...
Bleeping noises are working, sir.
Door ajar. Door ajar. How these guys are like teaching themselves to be Roman architects, for fuck's sake. I wonder how much valuable time, energy, and resources they spent on making a target for practice.
What? Yeah.
All he seems to think about is killing that animal. He's beginning to scare me.
He hasn't even memorized his lines for the Christmas Carol production we're putting on.
Gourd bombs.
Oh my gourd.
Snuck up on you.
Worst hunter ever. Oh, I hit a tree! He juked!
I want you to come back with us.
Back to the future!
I got a better idea. You stay here with me.
That is a worse idea, sir.
Yeah!
Stab, 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 stab! What?
He rolled over his rubber head.
So now he can't remember his mom, but he's still pissed.
Gourd to see you.
It wasn't a very gourd shot.
After a final battle between prehistoric beast and man, Maston stays behind to hunt the creature, and the survivors escape to safety and, presumably, love.
Let it be. It's the last one.
Papa Hemingway's gonna stay behind and just die.
So am I.
Who's starting to look like him? Steven Seagal.
Oh, wait. Please. I've got to rest.
You're like within spitting distance, and that's where you want to bed down for the night? You stupid. No. What? So there's no resolution for anything at all.
They get it. The white guy and the white girl that aren't old and decrepit go home. But they'll never come back because we're not going to waste any more lives on this expedition.
Richard Boone, paladin of Have Gun Will Travel and all the other Western and TV movies he did back in the day, is our anti-hero Maston. He's probably supposed to be a mix of honor-bound, pragmatic hunter and serious womanizing jerk, but he mostly comes off as an almost interesting control freak man-baby.
She's mighty hard to stay mad at. I suppose I better go and offer my apologies.
My anger is draining into my boner.
I say interesting with a grain of salt, mostly because Boone was such a veteran. A cast of character actors of varying pedigree round out the cast, including Joan Van Ark of soap opera fame as reporter Frankie.
wondering what your mouth would taste like.
Well,
Ugh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she goes for it anyway? Oh, come on.
Oh.
Stephen Keats as the other not interesting leading man, Chuck Wade, aka that geologist who survived the first trip and is too stupid to sit this one out.
That is a Cretaceous cyan tree.
It's from the Cretaceous.
And NBA star Luther Rackley as Bunta, the African tracker.
what is that?
The giant leeches.
Oh, what is he doing?
Putting aspirin on them.
I can take turtles as big as bathtubs and even dinosaurs, but leeches.
It's Yoko Ono.
Brush.
I'm coming for you, Beatles.
There's also a group of Japanese cave people in ratty furs who yell a lot, though one of the cave girls enjoys collecting, learning to brush hair, and curling up with old men.
My God, if she is just like at the end, covered in everything that they drop, it'll be hilarious.
What? Stinking damn thing got in my bed. Smell like a new stove.
Wow, you smell like a rotten dick and cigars. Ugh.
The special effects, indeed the rest of the film crew, are all Japanese, with decent suit-mation monsters including the classic T-Rex vs. Triceratops rumble, this time in a dinosaur boneyard.
Hey, that sounded strangely familiar.
Yeah, it's like if Godzilla stopped screaming to do a really wicked guitar riff. This dinosaur's made entirely out of ball sacks.
To American audiences, though, suit-mation always looks cheesy, and the flick was quickly relegated to made-for-TV when no U.S. studio would pick it up theatrically.
I like how it has like these giant anime eyes.
When he's all alone, it's not bad.
Right.
All crew have arrived in the boardroom.
This is the room where we bore you. I mean, I realize Thrust already bored her.
Depth indicators activated.
49. Hydraulic ram operational. 46. 93. Stand by to open airlock door.
Well, some asshole plays Simon. Burp, burp, burp.
Yards of tough line.
Oh, well, I mean, you got a perfect shot. Just spear him up the butthole. Have you heard the story of our Lord and Savior Cthulhu?
Listen, if you just take one copy of the Watchtower, I can tell my bosses I tried.
Still, there's effectiveness to the story, visuals, and sound effects that make this a fun romp, and an interesting footnote in the mix of genres, even if it is obvious that the T-Rex is way too tall and too rubber to be real.
Yeah, slowly. Every time he looks away, that's when you make...
Well, its visual acuity is based on movement.
It's like a Boo from Mario. I'm like genuinely surprised.
Wait. You enjoyed that?
It's weird, right? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't seem, feel, act, or look like something interesting.
Maybe you're onto something. Maybe, if nothing else, it's just such a fucked up mix of shit that somehow works in part because Rankin Bass at least knew what kids liked.
Everything in this movie was, the only way I can put it is unoffensive, right? It was an unoffensive movie.
I mean, except for the fact that you've got this totally offensive main character.
I just mean unoffensive in like, its execution did not feel intentionally like bad. Nothing about this is like, I can't point to anything in The Last Dinosaur, right? And be like, that's the sore thumb. Because it's a whole hand of sore fingers.
Yeah. It's a piece of shit across the board that is somehow fun to watch because it is such a mix of what?
That's the thing. It somehow gets its hooks into you. Because there are so many.
For me, it's the suit-mation.
The suit is good.
I love suit-mation. I love Japanese model work.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what kept me.
It's like you can check out of believable dinosaur movie because of that thing.
Right. And not only that, but here's the thing. Since it was a Japanese co-production, the Rankin Bass of it all, it did feel more fun. So let's say the Land Unknown, for instance, where you got that T-Rex and all he does is wander around, mouth opens, no action to speak of. They went so far as to have him do a little dance. When his tail gets yanked, he does the whole pratfall. Like when the rock hits his head, he goes, timber, and does a classic, if he were a cartoon character and you go bonk, I expected to see the stars and him go woo, 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 fall. It was crazy enough that it didn't suck, but not so crazy that you were like, what?
Right. My bias comes from the fact that, if I'd seen this as an adult, I don't know if I'd feel the way that you're describing it. It was one of those flicks that aired on whatever, and because it had dinosaurs in it, my mom hit record on the VHS, and I, if I was sick, it was one of those movies that I was like, hey, bump out that dinosaur
For
flick.
sure, yeah. I get that vibe too, because I can identify with that, because if I had access to this as a kid, it would be one of the ones I went back to.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do anything too freaky or scary for me, because I was a pussy.
Yeah, it's totally approachable as a kid because, it's not actually scary.
So they're doing things that, as a child, you go, yeah, this is important. Yes.
To me, it was that and the drama of, the dinosaurs feel dramatic, not real, dramatic.
Dramatic, yeah.
And the polar, the whole boring through and model work and it pops up in the middle of the lake. It's that felt dramatic.
Yeah, it was it felt important to itself.
Yeah.
It's fun, it's fluff, and it's not. I would have to rewatch, maybe even side by side, watch Land Unknown and The Last Dinosaur to see which, because they do the same thing. It's the same bullshit. Yeah, I would love to see this cleaned up because it's so smooth. This thing is a stone egg.
Pun intended?
Yes! It's heavy at times. You go, oh, what are we doing here? And part of it's weird. But then you get to go, it's got a nice weight. It's got a nice size. It's not too long. It's not too short. No one in it is Wynorski-ing.
Yeah.
It is the movie-going experience of this visceral feeling. Shutting your eyes and falling backwards into a memory foam mattress. When we do have the one big proper dinosaur fight, right?
Yeah.
T-Rex versus the Triceratops, who somehow is stuck in a mountain.
Yeah.
Looking past that. I think the funniest part about it is it does look literally like a dude in a Godzilla costume fighting a dude in one of those cow costumes.
Yeah, but it's got horns on the front.
Yeah, with the two dude.
I just thought of one other thing that I think speaks probably, and seriously, probably speaks to both you and I and the kid, the dinosaur-loving kid in both of us. The T-Rex lives.
Yeah.
It basically wins.
Maybe that's another part of it too. Is there is.
You said you wanted to see this movie. We were sitting there watching it, and you're like, I'd watch the whole movie of just this dude in the T-Rex suit.
I'm saying.
You practically could have, because basically at the end of the day, the T-Rex is kind of he's the protagonist. All right, so presented by Hans, the Sheepometer. How would you rate The Last Dinosaur on the Sheepometer?
It's not a solid one or the other. So here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
It's nowhere near.
It's a 1 to 10.
Right.
And our 5's at the bottom.
Yeah. It's not a 5 or above. So it doesn't suck or is good. But it does suck and is good. So I don't want to say it's a 4 because that's too harsh, and I don't want to say it's a 3 because that might be too good. But I'm feeling generous. We'll call it a 3. 3 sheep, the last dinosaur.
Wow. Okay. On my Sheepometer, I like I said, it has a special place in my heart, but I also totally see it for the just overflow of multiple types of cheeses, and we're not talking just like Midwestern Wisconsin here. So
yeah, it's got so many.
In fact, does Japan make cheese? Is there a Japanese cheese?
There's gotta be.
Right.
They got cows. Kobe beef. They gotta have Kobe cheese, right?
All right. In the meantime, on my sheepometer, I'll give it the 4 because I can admit that I enjoy this, but it's a piece of shit. I get a huge kick out of this movie, but like, yeah, it does not get the replay time that it used to get. So I'm giving it the 4. This does play. This is one of the ones that plays at our hypothetical.
Like our dive bar?
Yeah, our dive bar.
Or our hipster bar?
Yeah, our hipster bar where the movies are playing up on
For sure.
Yeah. All right, so we're in agreement about one thing then, that the T-Rex was the protagonist of The Last Dinosaur?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the caveman. He is everything he should have been and nothing he shouldn't have.
And he survives.
And he survives.
It's awesome.
One love. You, T-Rex.
Pouring one out for you, buddy.
Sabertooth Dalton.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? What's the matter? Old school monster movies just aren't doing it for you anymore? I understand. I had that moment too, in my childhood, when monster movies just didn't seem to mean as much to me anymore either. But it's okay. You know, sometimes just because a monster movie doesn't have a budget, it doesn't mean that the people who made it didn't care about it. And just because your life doesn't have a budget doesn't mean I don't care about you. Now, you ready to get back out there and watch another monster movie for Raiders of the Lost Genre?
Fuck no.